Murphys, and I love the Grandstanders! Take it away, kid.
Oh, everyone can hear us.
Hello and welcome to another issue of Grandstanders Live. I'm your host, Scott Kerman, and I'm joined by my usual cohorts, the Professor Russ Stevens, Uncle Joe McLaughlin, and he's JP's first son, Tim Hoey. Well, we have another great show for you tonight, so boys, let's get it started. Hey, can we shut that door, first of all? This is live TV. This is what happens. People start talking. Because it was like pizza.
I had to take control of the situation.
Well, there was handsome Todd in there. He's attractive.
Oh my God! He sure is.
I hear claw marks at the door.
Yeah, over 80. It's handsome Todd. All right, boys. I'm so excited about this show tonight. First of all, we start with the Patriots and the whole Odell Beckham thing. Look, I'm all a fan of. You want to bring in good players?
Bring him in.
I'm all in mid-season. We don't have to pay anything but a minimum veteran salary. Bring them on.
I'm gonna leave. I told Uncle Joe that I was gonna take whatever position he's gonna take on this.
I'll be happy if they get OBJ. Go for it. If they don't get it, no sweat. I'm not gonna lose any sleep over.
Well, as you know, we're getting him.
Jimmy
I have some bad sources.
Bad is not
bad,
a word
bad,
for
bad,
it.
bad.
Look, this would be a similar acquisition to a Chad Ochocinco, a guy who doesn't know the playbook.
That was terrible.
You'd be lucky to get a pass or two completed
Joey
each
Galloway.
game.
Look, most of these guys who get brought in at the trade deadline in the NFL make marginal contributions to the team. It's very rare a guy comes in and makes an enormous.
Everybody thinks they're going to get another Randy Moss. Right. That was a 1 in a 50.
But that was off season.
That was off season. That wasn't even at the trade deadline.
But I mean, people like
to keep the lead. Coming in at the trade deadline.
Yeah, but he doesn't really have to learn much of the playbook. They like take the best
you're
wide
in man of
receiver.
zone. Yeah, simple.
Yeah, and the Patriots have a very complicated offense. Yeah. Apparently, not many guys can come in. It takes them a while to, if at all, if they even do get the playbook.
The wideout, number one, he only runs a couple of routes.
Beckham.
But still.
It's not like you're the slot or the tight end.
Ochocinco couldn't figure it out.
I'm feeling
Ochocinco.
pretty good about N'Keal Harry at this point.
Well, they tried to make Ochocinco the guy.
That's the point.
But the Patriots, Joe, I digress a little bit here on you saying it's simple. I think the Patriots are a little bit different. I think, when that quarterback comes up to the line of scrimmage, there's one play if the guy's pressing him. There's another one if he's 5 yards off, and there's another one if he's 10 yards off.
No. That's for, like, the tight end, the back, and the slot receiver. People that are right nearby that can make that quick. The guy running the deep route, he can't. He's past the defense. There's no way he can tell what they're in.
See, I think the Patriots run a lot of this timing thing, though. If the corner's right up on him, he's going to do if the corner's 5 yards
They
up.
have a rookie quarterback, so it's very difficult to do a lot of timing stuff. The fact is, the midseason acquisition that we have really need to develop is Jonnu Smith. Where has he been the whole season? This is a guy they pay a huge amount of money for.
I read something today when they signed him. They were going to base their offense around him.
Well, I think you're going to see a lot more of him this week. If Harris and Stevenson are out, I think you'll see more Jonnu Smith running those old plays that
in the backfield
Aaron Hernandez used to run.
Yeah, he ran a couple last week.
But Aaron Hernandez only ran those in the Super Bowl.
Right.
I mean, that's what everyone talks wax.
Well, no. He was running it more and more with that H-back, set back in the halfback position. and he was running those jet sweeps out of it. He was doing a lot of stuff.
Until he killed some people.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I just want.
It was a bad preseason.
All right. So does Beckham come? I know, Timmy, you think he's already here, but
I don't think he's coming.
Russ, you think he's coming?
I don't think he's coming.
I don't think he's coming, but I'll gladly accept him if he comes.
Well, will you pick him up at the airport?
I won't go that far.
You know, if
I might pay.
But they will cut N'Keal Harry.
I'll pay the Uber for him though.
They will cut N'Keal
Or
Harry.
somebody will come up with a
Someone has to go,
Yeah, I assume it's N'Keal Harry.
and it won't be Jared Stidham, unfortunately. It'll
No,
probably
I
be-
like the Stidham move, getting the third quarterback. Why
Well,
not?
you can't let him go because the Jets would grab him in a heartbeat, or the Bills,
No.
and pump him because he knows the entire playbook.
No, but the whole premise is that, if something happens to the chosen one,
You
I'd
don't
rather
want
have.
Brian, yeah, you don't want Brian Hoyer.
You don't want Brian
to
Hoyer,
play more
right.
than 3 plays.
Brian
Yeah, right.
Hoyer is just there to be
Coach.
the mentor.
And Stidham would imagine have some value, trade value. Those kind of quarterbacks who've been in the system for a couple of years, you'd think you might get a fifth or sixth.
Yeah, but you would only trade him out of the conference. for
So
sure.
you're saying now that Stidham's here, someone has to go?
no.
No.
They'll
Oh,
go-
if they get
Who did they
Beckham.
get rid of? Oh, they got rid of Ferentz.
yeah, but Ferentz goes back and forth.
Yeah, he always goes back to his daddy there at Iowa.
Yeah. So we've got 9 games. We're 5-4. We should be at the very least 6-3. Can you imagine if we had just beaten the Dolphins? What we'd be sitting here right now, at top of the conference.
Change our entire opinion of this team this year.
Right.
I'm still really not sold on the team.
I'm not sold on them either, but we would be at 6-3. It feels like they're a 6-3 team,
Yeah.
right? Given who they've played.
Well, the momentum, it's a nice.
They're playing that nice third place schedule this year. That
Well,
helps
this
a
can only
lot.
play the
The
schedule.
NFL has a lot to do with momentum.
Yeah.
I think like you're kind of getting better or you're getting worse.
Well, we do our text thread during the game, and it takes just a few plays for you to hate the team again. You hate the team at least once a game. You hate them.
No, he doesn't.
He does. This
This is coming from the hater.
I think he's getting
This is
this from
coming
your
from the
source.
hater.
No, you hate the team. You hate. No, there's a lot of times you hate the team.
No, I think it's an average team.
Above
a
average, I'll
slightly
say.
above average team that makes a lot of mistakes, and it cancels each other out.
Yeah, within your frustration, you looking
are-
at me like I three heads.
They make more mistakes. They make more
Yeah, I agree.
boneheaded mistakes than any Patriots.
I know, well, there
Too
you
many
go.
men on
Ever.
the field. False.
So that
starts.
doesn't disappoint you.
No, I'm just talking about you right now.
don't-
coming out of a timeout with and the
I-
play clock expires. That's like something you laugh at these other coaches doing, and now we're doing.
Well, the fact is that we're just doing what all these other teams do. Now, I mean, we're not standing above
Yeah,
them.
I mean, we used to look down on teams that would
Well,
let the clock
You got a
expire
rookie
coming out of a
quarterback
timeout.
running the show. It's you got to
Yeah,
allow for
But these
that.
are making
Most-
people jump, in motion and things like that.
taking
That's a
letting
lot
the 30-second
between
clock
the-
run out after a timeout is unbelievable.
Too many men on the field type of stuff. I mean,
That's coach's problem. Too many men on the field.
I mean, we've had a high turnover in the coaching.
Look, I think the good news is it feels like Belichick got him more involved in the defense over the last few
Yeah.
weeks, and it's showing. I mean,
Yeah.
if you actually look, I think the underrated part of this team is, but for a couple of drives where they couldn't stop teams, they've been pretty good all year long. If you look at how many points
Yeah.
the defense has given up,
Yeah.
it's almost like 17 to 21 points a game at most.
And that should do it for you.
except for Dallas and New Orleans.
but think about
New
how many
Orleans
balls-
the offense gave them what, 3
Yeah,
interceptions.
think about how many balls we put on the ground for
Yeah.
short field, pick sixes, stupid stuff like that.
Yeah.
Block punts.
Block,
The
right.
Defense, they couldn't get a couple of stops. They couldn't stop Miami.
No.
Sad
Couldn't
against
stop
Miami.
New Orleans, and they couldn't stop Dallas in the overtime.
No,
they
they-
were never going to win that game.
But we stopped Brady.
Yeah.
We stopped this team last week.
Yep.
But and the defense, like Bill Belichick's teams, is getting better
Well,
and better.
and like Russ says, you see Belichick huddled with the defense
Yeah.
after every series now. Well, you never saw that in years past, except way back in the beginning.
Right.
It's right now. Matthew Judon is doing things as a defensive player that we've maybe had 3 or 4 guys in the history of
I
Patriots
love
can
that
do.
one-handed sack he had. Just
Oh,
ripped
he
the guy
took Darnell and just threw him around like a
down. Boy,
rag.
is Darnell, is he
Rag.
a sorry excuse for a quarterback or what?
Darnell.
Hey,
Well,
I
he
do
was
have to
playing
take
with a
little credit
broken
for calling that
labrum.
interception.
He was playing with a broken labrum.
Was he?
Yeah.
Was he really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I
that's
know.
why, if you remember, I was talking with Todd about this. Can't recall him throwing a pass over 10 yards in that whole game.
Darnell. Yeah.
He didn't put any air under that ball at all. I think he had the broken shoulder then.
Look,
It seems like it.
Give him credit then for getting out there.
I think Mac Jones does not like speedy rush right now. I think that takes him. I think Bosa got into his head, and late in that first half, and then into the second half, he was a different quarterback. Defensive line for the Carolina Panthers are top quality guys.
You know who's coming this week?
All of a sudden, you got
Look how
Garrett
Miles, the
Miles,
fastest
right?
guy in the league.
Yeah, so they're going to have to do things that are make him a lot more comfortable in the pocket, whether it's keeping.
You know what will work? Someone to massage Trent Brown's calf muscle.
Well, he's
and
coming-
get him back out there.
He's coming back.
Hopefully.
He practiced today.
Yeah, hopefully.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it can't happen soon enough. Right?
Right.
Look, this team's going
Isaiah
as far.
Wynn can't do that.
Look, this team is going as far as their offensive line and their running game will take him. Rookie, he's gonna have a hard time maintaining his level of play for another 10 games, something like that, right? Like if you include a couple of playoff games.
But I think we can. Yeah, but
He's a rookie quarterback who's already played as many games or getting close to has played as many games as he's ever played in a season, and he's got a whole half season ago.
and remember, he only played 1 year for Alabama.
Yeah.
Started there. But look, the guy. You see the 12 for 18, 175 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Thank you, and it's very similar to 2002 Tom Brady statistics, right?
Yeah, but that's not the current. We're in 2021, and that won't make it going forward. He's going to have to show improvement.
He is.
That's
Oh,
not
of
good
course
enough.
I'm saying when he was this
That
his
won't
first
win a
season.
playoff game.
But that was an outlier. Like that game was an outlier game. He's gotten better every month.
No, the outlier game was the Jets. Everything else, actually, I don't think he's gotten better. This last month, it's been a regression. Other than the Jets game.
Oh, I don't know.
Last 2 weeks have been.
He's not throwing the interceptions he's been throwing.
He's throwing some beautiful balls. He's
that
got
was,
that.
that was
yeah.
a bad.
He's got that floater down the sideline.
He's
down
extending the
pretty
field,
good.
right?
Yeah.
But he
He's
doesn't
good at
have-
laying it in.
Doesn't have that whole middle of the field pass.
Yeah, he got burned by
Well, look,
our
Yes,
former
he's a-
friend.
Even the
And
15
he
to
has
20
the
yard
rainbows.
line. Yeah.
Gilmore knew that play before it even started.
Is a rookie. That's the most like
I
we
know.
are sitting
Oh,
here
that's the toughest
criticizing him.
pass in football.
We're,
on
we're
Grant.
grading him as a veteran QB because that's how he plays, and the fact is he's a rookie. How would you redo the quarterbacks taking this draft?
Yeah, that's very interesting.
Would you take him? You wouldn't take him fifth.
No,
him
you
second.
wouldn't.
You take him second. Well, behind Trevor Lawrence, your
Yeah.
boy. Yeah.
Well, would maybe Deshaun Watson be here?
Well,
instead?
Fields looked pretty good against the Steelers,
Great
right?
athlete. Yep.
I would put him second. Absolutely.
Yeah,
I think
second
you
or
still have
third.
to keep Lawrence because you can see the
Yeah,
potential.
he's
I
a
know.
Peyton Manning waiting to happen. I mean,
Trey Lance.
Yeah.
no.
I mean Fields, made some mistakes too last night.
How about
I mean,
the kid Wilson?
Monday night.
Mac Jones looks a lot better. I don't think if you put Wilson on the Patriots, he'd do any better.
Yeah,
than,
they're two different guys. Well, I think Josh and Bill would use them quite a bit differently too.
Yeah.
Instead of being very conservative,
Yeah.
they'd have a little more wrinkles.
You think Kyle Shanahan's kicking himself?
Oh
right
my!
now?
He's apparently he traded up to the third
Three
spot
draft picks?
Yeah.
to
3 first
get
rounders.
Mac Jones, and then he got talked out of it.
3 first-round picks.
Ridiculous.
And that's
That's the
only
future.
because they wanted the next Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guys, he was going to take Jones, but the guys upstairs talked the owner into it, and so the coach,
So he was
You're
willing to
number
give up
3.
3 first-round picks to get Mac Jones.
he is.
And then
Yeah.
he never took
That was
him.
the initial plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Whew. Look, Mac
And
Jones.
then the people upstairs said, no, we're going with this kid, the athlete.
Do you still text with Jimmy G? Or have you given that up?
Adrian.
no, I've given up. He stopped answering mine.
Yeah.
It's when I started sending pictures.
He moved up
Called
from
him
top
Mac
favorite
a couple
down.
times instead of Jimmy. You got upset about that, right?
Look, Jimmy G. If Jimmy G was not so injury prone, I'd still want him on this team. With
If he's not so.
This is the
injury-prone.
guy
That's
who
like-
bashed the basketball player there.
Gordon Hayward.
Gordon
I
Hayward.
said yeah. I
Grandpa.
said if. It's a big if, right?
He's Uncle Jimmy.
Jacoby Ellis.
I've moved on from Jimmy G. You haven't. I still would like him as the backup.
Still carry the torch for
Would he be a
Grandpa.
perfect backup, right?
He just can't stay on the
Well, he
field.
would be a perfect backup. You need a backup to be healthy, and Jimmy G's never healthy.
Well, I
He's
mean,
ready to step in.
You
yeah.
need, you have 3 guys on the roster with him because he'll be 3 games. He's like his lifespan for a season.
Okay, I said Christian Barmore was going to be a stud. I was the first one and the only one early on that told you that Barmore is the next Aaron Donald, and he is absolutely showing signs that this guy, at the very least for Patriots land, is a Richard Seymour type.
Yeah, did you see?
Wouldn't you love to see him playing end in the 3-4 rather than tackle?
Oh, is that right? You think he's out of position?
Yeah, kinda.
What's his weight? What's his weight?
He's up around 290. You know, and I think he's just not big enough for the
You need that like 350 guy in the middle.
big guy that draws the double team every time. But he's going to draw a double team. He's like Aaron Donald.
Yeah, he really doesn't. He have the body type.
He's a little stout.
Looks amazing.
Little squatter.
You know, what about all the good things that Belichick said about him the other day? You know, Belichick does not say stuff like that.
Were you
about
lucky
guys.
enough to
Rookies.
see his
I
press
saw
conference?
he's a good old boy like this.
Oh, man, was he having a blast?
He's like
Who's that?
Forrest Gump, the way he talks.
Barmore.
Yeah.
Barmore, oh my God, this guy, he's just all
Oh,
smiles.
he was having fun.
Oh, yeah, he just loves his football thing. Oh yeah,
great.
Oh,
He came out of Alabama, right?
He came
Yeah.
out of Alabama with a reputation of not really working hard on
Then
the field.
he quit on the team. He tried to quit.
Yeah.
did he smoke? Did he get caught for dope or something?
Yeah, you know, has that ever bothered Belichick?
It's one of those perfect Belichick picks. Now, I had forgotten, and I had said this last week. They traded up for him. They gave 2 fourth-round picks to get to
they
the
wanted
38th
him.
spot. So he did slide, but he wasn't sliding anymore.
So you wonder if he didn't have a couple of knocks on him, where
Oh, he
where-
would
he'd
have
been
been
top
the
10.
first round, top 15 pick.
top
Yeah.
15
Yeah.
Yeah.
athleticism.
But round 9, 10, 12, right in that
He
range.
was a lot of I saw a lot of writers projecting that the Patriots were going to pick him with their 15th pick.
Oh, yeah.
Right? If
A
the
lot of
Patri-
mock
right?
drafts.
If the Patriots had not had the need of quarterback, they probably
Yeah.
would have done that.
Right.
Right? Look, Stevenson came with a bad reputation too. That's why
They
he
might
should
have, you know.
Man,
the
does he look
fans
good.
and Robert Kraft was saying, you're drafting a quarterback. I don't care who's left over there.
But
You're drafting
when I watch Stevenson run, I can't believe he's 250 pounds.
Very
I
nice.
mean, he is ballerina feet. I mean,
Yeah.
he's moving around out there like a little guy.
Yeah,
you
you
know?
guys appreciate that from the draft we had Mac Jones, Stevenson, and Barmore contribute to an NFL victory last
Yeah.
week.
Those are three very, very
We do
good
not
players.
win an NFL game without those three contributing.
So where do we
That's
get
huge.
Stevenson? What,
Oklahoma.
no, where in the
In
draft?
his,
A fourth round.
third or fourth.
I mean, he's running like
Was
a
Perkins third and him fourth.
Perkins was
he's running like a first round draft pick.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. He's quicker than
The
LeGarrette.
problem, he slid that far to me because he's mostly straight ahead guy.
You know, he's not
He's
straight
no
ahead
Duke
this
up.
year. He's not straight ahead this year. He's dancing. He's
Yeah, that's
he's,
what I thought,
He's
too.
cutting
Yeah.
and
41-yard run,
That and
pass
he-
reception
that-
the other
that
day.
and he can't block.
made some moves.
yeah, he can't block.
Was off. He's awful. You can't pass the ball with him in there.
No.
Mac Jones gets croaked a couple
But he
times
can run.
in stride.
He's the best runner we've had. I think, like that star NFL running back. To me, when he has the
he's
ball,
more like Henry than anyone else.
you
on
get
that
him
team.
into the open field. He's talented
He's
guy.
not Sony Michelle, Joe.
Well, Sonny
Thanks
Michelle
again.
was 50 pounds lighter.
But he has the
than him.
elusiveness of a lighter guy, though, and then he's got all that muscle behind him.
Jimmy's
Look,
got a little crop.
I
I
know
do
he
a little.
does.
that's it.
Well, I
He
love
does.
that. I love
He's
watching
got
him
a
run.
Ramondre.
I can't believe me and
I
my
didn't
son.
even try to do that first.
Me and my son were we're watching him.
Stevens is good.
Ramondre.
It's
I
hard to
know
believe.
Stevens.
It's hard to believe this guy's 250 pounds when he's
I know,
out there
right?
moving around.
I didn't think it was this quick. I mean, that
When
screen
he
pass
gets up
was
ahead of
unbelievable.
steam, he's moving. He's like a freight train.
And he's elusive.
And at some point, I
I
think
don't know about that.
Well, he looked pretty elusive on that 41-yard run. He was
Well,
moving
he's
side to
elusive
side,
when
and
a 190-pound quarterback tries to tackle him. He's got a full head of steam.
well, we may not see him or Harris with the
I know.
I see
concussions.
my man Brandon Bolden getting it done.
Oh
once
my
again.
God! It is
Old
so funny.
faithful.
It's so funny
Old
because
faithful.
the three of us.
Brandon Bolden will do something well in a game, and these three guys will complain about it. I'm like, are you guys watching a different?
well,
game?
we have
Three
Steve, we
guys
have
in a
Stevenson,
crowd.
we have
It's-
Stevenson, we have Harris, we have so many guys, and then Brandon Bolden. Where's he on the depth
catches
chart?
a-
You know
I
what I
know,
mean?
we just-
Brandon Bolden catches a wheel route for like, I don't know, 35
Oh, with
yards.
a terrible pass.
And-
An awful
and
pass.
three guys complain like, we shouldn't be dependent on Brandon Bolden. I'm like,
30 goal though.
It's
He had to do like a 360.
I don't know. I know you. Brandon Bolden thinks you're
Oh,
the
I
only
can
one.
do
But you know where it comes from? Those third and goals that they were using him, they were going to
I
him.
know.
Draw
yeah,
play.
yeah.
You should never call a draw.
That's not
for him.
Brandon Bolden's
Because
fault.
that's exactly. He's not elusive. You give him a 2-yard, 3-yard
Yeah.
hole, he takes it and gets
He's a
it.
And
lunch-
Brandon
he's a
Bolden
lunch
has
field
never
guy.
fumbled in the NFL.
Let's put it this way: if
Didn't he
those two
fumble
guys,
No, he's
if
never
those
fumbled.
two guys don't play, Brandon Bolden will run for at least 75 yards on Sunday.
And we'll hate it.
And you will do nothing but complain.
They'll win, and we'll say, but how about Bolden?
Well, I think we'll have Bolden on the inside, J.J. Taylor on the outside. It'll be Mr. Inside.
It just feels like he's just such a special teamer. He's been around forever.
It's like, 3rd and 4, huge play. The game's deciding on it.
Every
I
time
don't
he's had a
like
chance
seeing
to be a
Brandon Bolden
starter,
get the ball.
He's been back on special teams
All I
next
know,
week.
he's been good this year.
He has been good. I
Been
know
good
we
this
do
year,
have a
but
we have
so
a
what are we gonna?
we have a
Well, who do
complex
I want?
about
You
Brandon.
got Harris back there to give the ball to on 3rd and 3, and the game's on the line, and you give it to Bolden. I don't get that.
It's because he doesn't fumble. I'm telling you.
It's got to be.
Those guys drop so many friggin' balls on the ground in the
Yeah.
first
I know.
4 games of this year. It's like you can't put the ball on the ground. Bottom
And
line.
yeah, Harris actually fumbled it, but he recovered his own
He
fumble.
cost
this
us
week.
the Miami game.
But
Yeah.
he doesn't have the skill. Like he's not going to do what these other guys can do. I
Right,
mean,
but he's also
but he
not
won't
gonna
fumble
fumble.
it too. I get it.
So-
I was looking forward to seeing J.J. Taylor. Maybe we see him.
We're going to
this
see him
year.
this week.
Oh, guaranteed
he's got to
we'll
be
see him
dressed
this
this week.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of buzz before the season. He's kind of a fan favorite, and he's played one game.
No, he's played a couple games. But
Hasn't
it's
done
a
anything.
Stevenson's been active 1 week. He's the next.
I wonder how bad these
Stevenson-
concussions
Stevenson.
are. Are they serious or
Don't know.
those things can go. They can really hang
Yeah,
with
they
you
can.
sometimes.
They might be with him.
All right,
Oh, you
predictions.
look at Mark Savard.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Predictions, boys. Big game. This really feels
This
like a
one's
wild
so
card
hard.
game.
You can't get a handle on this.
It doesn't feel
Will-
like a wild
will
card
Harris
game?
and Stevenson not play for us? Well, we know Kareem Hunt isn't playing for them. Is Chubb out too? Because he's on COVID protocol. All the running backs are out of the game.
Yep.
Oh, this is a
And-
perfect injury to have COVID. I want Nick Chubb to be fine. I want him to take care of himself and just be perfect and not have a sign of COVID and just go back to the team.
Well,
on
no, he
Monday.
was close contact, so all he needs is
Ah,
the two
damn
neg-
it!
The 2 negative.
Damn
tests
it!
24 hours apart.
That's a perfect one. He's going to be just
He's
fine. I'm not
vaccinated.
wishing any injury on him. I just don't want him to show up on Sunday.
But they're also missing OBJ too, remember? So they're missing a few people. So maybe the defense will have themselves a fine day again.
So what's the prediction?
Who wins?
So hard without us missing our bread and butter too. Let's go with another nail biter, 21-20.
All right. I'm not even telling you mine
That's
until
all
you
right.
say yours.
So you're going to copy mine. 20-19 Patriots and a last-second Nick Folk field goal.
Oh, wow.
We haven't had that.
Yeah.
Timmy? And I know you're doing all this
No.
superstition stuff.
I'll say 21-10. I like the direction this team's going in, and I think the defense. If those guys are out, I think they can keep the score down.
I think it's 38-7 Patriots. I think no, really. And I've been on almost all season. You guys aren't giving me any credit. But Mayfield is the kind of guy we get into his head. You get Mayfield, Herbert. They're very similar quarterbacks to me and stuff.
They have been doing a good job of confusing these guys this year. I mean, it
We,
feels like
we haven't been facing the iron of the quarterback.
but it feels like the
Oh,
old
yeah.
days of Belichick toying with these quarterbacks that can get confused. He's been doing a good job with that.
We're not seeing the cream of the crop. We're not seeing the Rodgers and the Wilsons and the Mahomeses.
And
We're
Mayfield.
seeing
I
the
want-
bottom of the
Oh,
barrel.
we saw Brady.
I want Mayfield's agent.
He's not the guy he used to be either.
That guy has more commercials.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
How about Taco Fall? I think the Celtic with the most commercials is Taco.
Well, he doesn't even play for the Celtics anymore.
I know.
So you're
But
talking
what
about
do you see
Mayfield?
on- what
Oh,
do you
he
see
still
on-
that stuff?
Yeah, and don't you watch the Celtics
are you,
games?
are you- are you-
I don't watch it.
He just comments
He's,
on them.
he's
doesn't
on the
watch them.
billboards on
What are
Route
you talking
24.
about? I stream it.
No, he's good for,
are you talking about Mayfield with all the commercials?
Oh, my God.
No,
Yeah.
Taco. Too.
If I see freaking Patrick Mahomes on another commercial, I'm gonna
Oh
shoot
my
myself.
God, and he's
Well,
so bad.
A
at
little
it.
noticeable absence of someone on the commercials
Well, you
this
know
week,
State
huh?
Farm's going to be pushing the Mahomes commercials, not the
Well,
Rodgers.
they just ran out of
did.
Rodgers. I mean,
Yeah, they
Rodgers is
did
now
that.
on the back burner,
did
right?
that last week.
Rodgers is just
How quickly.
He's so annoying. He's annoying before this, and now he's even more annoying, saying he was immunized. Come on, who's gonna say that and not think you're
So
vaccinated?
unpopular with his teammates too. What does that say about the guy?
That he's
He
a
doesn't even
TV.
talk to his family, Tim.
with the
He
DB.
doesn't talk to anyone in
Oh,
his
douchebag.
family.
Really?
Oh, I thought it was
Yeah,
going to
no,
be.
total DB.
I thought Dick.
He is.
He hates everyone in his
says
family.
that.
He
He
doesn't
is
talk to anyone.
He is a DB with in capital letters.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and they've always been plugging every year that he's better than Tom Brady. When will that stop?
He's won
One
Super Bowl.
One
No,
Super Bowl.
They've been trying to get him another one, but they can't.
He's done.
He
I mean, he won't win another one. He'd have to go to a great team. He'd have to pull a Brady, and I don't think they're sending him to a great
well,
team.
that's what he wants to do. I think
Why
that
does
was
the
whole
national press
reason.
love him so much? I mean, they freaking
He's got a
fawn
lot
over
of
this
talent.
guy.
He's got.
Very
You've
talented
seen
guy.
him every time we play him. He beats
He's
us.
one of the most talented quarterbacks I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's a Midwestern. You know, they're appealing to the Midwestern. I mean,
I
he's
thought he
big.
was a California.
No, but he's
Oh, he's
with
from-
the
he's
Packers.
playing, yeah.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
play the Packers. So
Right.
that that's kind of. He is a douchebag. We can say it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
it's,
really
it's,
is.
it's capable. All right, so I could talk about the Red Sox. I know that you guys too. I could talk about the Red Sox for hours. So many moving pieces. I can't remember an off season that is going to be this interesting. And of course, having gone deep into the playoffs now, we feel these players more. And
It really took the playoffs for me to feel this team.
yeah, and now we're all into it. First question is Erod.
They
Red
offered
Sox
him a contract
fans,
today.
that $18.6 million or whatever that qualifying offer, the Red Sox would love to pay him $18 million for 4 years, 4 more years, so 72. If they
number-
got
that
4
number
and
sounds
72,
right.
they'd be very happy.
That sounds like the
They
right
made
number.
an offer, a long-term offer to him today.
Well, they have to at least.
They didn't
beat-
give the term.
They have to at least beat 18.4. He'd be a moron. not
Yeah.
to-
Well, they made that qualifying
Yeah,
offer.
no, they made the qualifying offer, but typically when teams make a qualifying offer,
Yeah.
their
where-
offer
that's where you
starts
start.
Right,
That
right.
starts, so it could be 18 to 19 to 20 over 3
Yeah.
years, or even. higher.
I'd try to keep him to 3.
Yeah.
Keep the term down. I'd give him a lot of money, but keep
Yeah.
the term
20
down.
a year for 3?
I'd go
They're gonna
more.
do-
I'd
they're
go
gonna do
more
4.
than. I'd
They
go,
did Evaldi for 4. They're going to do
They'll do
Erod
4.
for 4.
Yeah.
And
Because the agent wouldn't settle, because that's guaranteed money.
look, 4 years, $20 million a year. I think Erod would be happy to
The
sign
last
that.
lefty that we signed to a long-term contract worked out really well.
Yeah, he did really well. We're still paying David Price's
No,
contract.
well, no, even one after that.
Oh, Chris Sale. That's
Yeah.
all. Russ, you were on top of that. Yeah. But we're going to get something from him, and it better be this season
Better be.
coming up. So, Erod, does he
afraid you are.
sign for the Red Sox?
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
I think he
What do
does.
you think the core factor is with him staying?
Probably
Yeah.
pretty high.
I think that really is a high.
I think the guys like
consideration.
Erod, Christian Vasquez, Devers have made it publicly known that this is the team they came up with.
Yeah.
And Erod, in a sense, obviously,
Yeah.
this is
The
his
Orioles,
first major league team, that they're really comfortable here and they want to stay here. And usually those guys don't
Look, I
publicly
think-
say that stuff.
I think you're right. He has all the looks of a guy who likes to stay, and I think those guys really like Cora.
Yeah, right. So that's very important. The guy most likely in the starting lineup for the Red Sox to be traded. In the starting
JD
lineup.
Martinez.
I didn't want to say it because I know he's a favorite of Tim's.
No, but I think if they get Schwarber, they seem like they're hard on him too. But Bloom, that what he came out with today, I don't know how much of it you really believe, but he said he'd love to have them both. Schwarber batting first or second, but where do you put him? I mean, I would love to see him at first over Dahlbeck all day. I know you guys are hot on Dahlbeck. I am not a big Dahlbeck fan.
What I heard today is they're thinking about putting Bobby Dahlbeck at second.
Really
That's,
interesting.
which is kind of interesting if you think about it. They played Michael Chavez in second base.
No. I mean, just think about the middle of that infield with no range.
He
I
seems
mean,
clumsy.
we're talking
I don't know
about
how
a
you
pretty
could do that.
crappy infield
Yeah.
to begin with, and you're going to
I
make
mean,
it
you have
worse.
no range.
Doesn't
Dahlbeck
Dahlbeck-
has no range, and now you're going to put him with a second baseman?
I know. I thought it was no. I'm not
Are
in
you
favor.
getting this from Tim's?
He
seems clumsy to me.
CJ goes along.
Dustin Pedroia's coming back next
doesn't-
year. Timmy Sawyer said that.
No, I just
Headline.
said it.
Headline right
I'm
now.
just throwing this out there. But I mean, I thought that was weird.
Dahlbeck strikes me as clumsy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. You bring Schwarber back in the team, and now you got a lot of non-athletic
Like
guys.
second baseman guys, like guys who can do
See,
backflips and things like that.
Agree
Yeah.
I agree with Tim. Like, if Schwarber walks, you get nothing for him because he's a free agent. If you can move JD, get something for JD and sign Schwarber,
Yeah.
and you've paid just the same amount of money, and you got a player back, whether if it's a reliever or a second baseman or a fifth starter. I mean, you get a decent you get a really good reliever back for JD Martinez at a minimum.
I'd hate to
You
see
know
him leave,
what?
though.
You know, Erod would be twice as good a pitcher with a decent infield behind him.
Yeah.
I know.
He generates a lot of ground balls, and they just don't get the outs.
well,
So
the
imagine
infield
Dahlbeck
would,
at second. Oh my god!
if they would show the balls to re-sign Iglesias, which I want them to do,
They might.
and put him at second base and just say we're going to improve this.
And that's out
infield.
of position. He was good about going there, but
That would be one of the worst infields,
Oh.
fielding wise, in the history
Schwarber,
of baseball.
Dahlbeck, Bogarts, and Devers.
My
tickets
God!
to Evers to Chance was on.
Holy smokes, would that be a clumsy defense?
So apparently the Red Sox are in big in the shortstop market, which is huge. There's a lot of top players: Correa, Story, Seager. I mean, these guys. One of them's going to end up with the Yankees, of course.
Who's the best fielder? The best.
Probably Seager might
Seager,
be
probably.
the best fielder.
Yeah.
He's kind of fragile too, though. I mean, if you get a Correa, that would be a dream. He seems perfect for Fenway Park.
What do we do with
Xander?
Yep.
Then I guess Xander is
Left
your.
field?
I think he's your left fielder.
I don't think he would. He remember how he pulled
have
a
to-
snip when they put him on third base.
I think you got to
put him
resign
in
him
left
first.
field.
I think you got to resign him, and
Make
he
him
needs
happy.
to know what he's doing. So you can't switch Xander against his will right now because he'll never
No.
resign with you.
Yeah.
Nor can you do that with Devers right now until he signs.
Nor could you
Yeah.
do that with Devers. Yeah, they have a lot of leverage right now.
I think that either Devers or Xander, one of those guys, will be your left fielder. And I think left field
Xander-
and Devers would be a perfect match.
By the way, you could sign a really good shortstop and see if Xander wanted to move to second. That'd be fine.
Yeah, that would be good. Yeah, if you did that, but
Right.
you'd have, like you said, you'd have to sign him because
You'd have to know.
I think he'd be a very good
spend the
second
rest
baseman
of your
too.
career at second base or left field.
yeah, but because he
I
wants
like him
to
in
get
left.
big money, and second basemen get a lot less
They
than
get less money than
shortstops.
shortstop.
I like him in left. He
Yeah.
looks like it just seems like it'd fit out there on left field. We have a
Okay.
history of having good left
Left
fielders,
field
you
in
know?
Fenway would be, it's very low stress, very easy position to play. He should like it, but he won't.
Martin Perez and Richards gone. Thank God. Oh my
Yeah.
God, I couldn't watch Richards pitch anymore.
Well, once he lost the sticky stuff, he was.
It was absolutely painful. Then
He
Martin
did
Perez.
have a good stretch as a reliever there in August and September.
When
was
they
it?
re-sign Richards as a reliever, Scott Kerman is going to lose his.
Oh
effing
my!
mind.
No, they're not going to. Do you think they're going to do that?
Easily, yeah. They could
Oh no! For God's sake, please no. He's the Brandon Bolden of the Red Sox. Even when he pitched well, I hated
You know,
him.
once with the sticky stuff gone, he's dead. He's dead in the water.
Garrett Richards goes out, throws 2 scoreless innings. Scott's like, we shouldn't be depending on Garrett Richards.
It's so true. No, there's just some guys you don't like, right?
Matt.
Right? I mean, so what's the priority? A Red Sox going to sign a big free agent? Do you guys feel like it feels like Bloom doesn't talk out of place, and that he's seriously interested in these guys? I think he re-signed Schwarber because he has said since he acquired him that was his intention.
But if they sign Schwarber, JD obviously has opted in, and then they have to make a decision on Devers and Xander. That should take up all their money right there.
That's right.
But they can go over the cap this year, right?
Yeah, they don't have to reset. They're good on,
Yeah.
on the threshold. Yeah.
Now, if they did that with 4 big contracts outside of the pitching staff, would they go for another position player?
No.
As a free agent.
I don't
I
think
think
so.
they
I'm
got
with
one
Russ.
move. I think they got one move in them. It
In the
could
free
be-
agent market.
Yeah, they got one move. They got Schwarber. They've got sign a shortstop.
Yeah.
Sign Marcus Simeon, which I think would be the best move that they
Wait,
could make.
so you think Schwarber would be the one big
I think,
move?
yeah, because you're going to have to pay Schwarber $15 to $20 million,
More money, I think.
right?
Right.
He's 29.
Yeah, he's 6 years younger than JD, so
Yeah.
you're going to be close to $20 million. I mean, you got one move like that I could see, because then he's got to do all these other moves.
Yeah, maybe
So you don't
he's
see a
looking-
big starting pitcher coming here.
No, and there's
No,
a lot of
no.
them out on the
I
market
don't think
too.
a big
There's
no.
a lot
I
of
think
big
a
names
third,
out
fourth
there.
starter.
A lot of big names out there.
Oh, I'd
too.
love to have Scherzer.
Yeah, I don't think Scherzer. I mean, would you like to have Verlander on a 1 or 2 year
interesting.
contract?
Yeah.
39 years
Isn't
old?
Kershaw free agent too?
Yeah, Kershaw
Yeah, no.
looks
Kershaw's
done to
never
me.
done it for
Yeah.
By the
me.
way, if we're going to
No,
sign
I
another
know, right?
lefty,
He's Brandon
if
Bolden.
you sign Erod, you're not signing Kershaw.
I do hate getting guys out of the National League too. They don't make the jump.
Kershaw seems like he can get knocked. Like
He looks.
it
done.
seems like
He
he's
looks
ready
done
for the
to me.
frying pan.
Yep.
You know.
He's a Dodger. They're a little cute.
Remember,
No cute.
every time we played them, we crushed them.
Overpaid and
Yeah,
underworked.
exactly.
You want Joe Kelly back?
Oh my
He's
God.
free agent.
Is he really?
Yes,
Yep.
I like Joe Kelly. Yeah, just the
Bazooka
personality.
Joe.
Bazooka Joe.
What, everyone with those Joe Kelly Fight Club T-shirts.
Oh, yeah.
on.
Oh,
Yeah,
Good to have him
he got
back.
into a
You
fight
remember
with the
how terrible-
Dodgers, right?
Do you remember
Right
how
off
terrible
the
he
bat,
was?
right
Yeah.
when he got there.
No,
And
but
then-
like recently,
He was so terrible, and then he became so outstanding in the playoffs that year. I mean, I wanted
was
to. If I had a sniper rifle at Fenway, I would have taken him out numerous times during the
But
year.
I don't know
became
why
a
the Dodgers.
flamethrower.
I
He
don't know why
became
throw up.
unbelievable in the playoffs that year.
Why the,
Probably shouldn't say sniper rifle.
I know. I probably should.
but
Sorry, just kidding.
why the Dodgers
I was just
resign him?
worried that
He
the
was
authorities
good.
are
I
going to
know.
start tracking you down.
He was good. Kelly was good for them last year.
Was he that good? Was he
He was.
consistent?
I know he stunk the first year.
No, I
they
think his
had him.
contract was high. I think they knew that.
Yeah,
Well,
they
he
paid
came
him
out of
good
that
money,
playoffs.
like
He
$9
looked
million.
so
Yeah,
great.
9 for 3
You know, that
years.
playoffs made
9
him.
each.
That playoff series made Joe a lot of money.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah, he was getting $9
They,
million
it's like
a year for a
they
relief.
eliminated all season. It's like they didn't even watch the tape for that, and they
But
just went off the
But if you
playoffs.
think about it, that in all sports, how you
Yeah.
succeed in the
And he beat
playoffs.
them
You
too.
didn't answer the question. Who do you think is most likely to be traded?
Who's most likely to be traded? Hunter Renfro.
So JD, Hunter Renfro.
Oh, I'm thinking somewhere different. I'll go with Bobby Dahlbeck.
Oh, that would
See, I
make me,
just-
that would make me smile, Joe.
I know that would make you smile, and I think he would have more value with other teams where he still is away.
Do you
from
think
it.
he could
Couple
become
years-
like a huge
what's he,
star?
2 years from free agency?
I think he. Dahlbeck?
Yeah.
He's a rookie.
No, he's in
He's
arbitration.
got like
He's
4 or
still in
5 years.
arbitration.
Oh my
4 or
God!
5
Yeah,
years.
his arbitration.
So
clock hasn't
he'd
even
be
started.
very valuable for a lot of teams, especially the teams that you want to take advantage of, like the Pittsburghs and
The
Kansas.
Milwaukee.
Something about him, though. All playoffs when he got up, I just said
I
strike out,
wasn't
strike out,
impressed. Yeah, I
strike
wasn't
out.
impressed.
You know, he can hit the mediocre pitching. Put him against the good guys.
And your top guy to sign is Marcus Simeon,
Oh my God!
that
Yeah.
guy, right?
Oh
Not
yeah.
Jose
base.
Iglesias?
Oh
second baseman.
yeah. Wow.
For
All of a
2-3
sudden.
years?
Oh my God. Yeah. He had 45 home runs.
He
last
had
year.
45 home runs
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
second base. They moved him
Gosh,
from short
what,
to
what would he
second.
Yeah.
cost? Is he?
He would call. I mean, he's
Is
an
he,
older guy.
is he a free agent?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a free agent. He's an
Ooh.
older guy, so you don't have to sign him for 7 years. You're looking at 3-year contract. Probably pay him, $25 million a year for
Then
3
you
years.
keep
Oh.
JD in that 6th spot.
Yeah, then you
in
don't-
the
This
This guy
regular
get any
season?
wheels? Can he move?
He's pretty decent. Yeah, he can steal some bases. But
Wow.
he's an athlete.
Ho, ho.
Yeah.
45 home runs.
45 home
From
runs?
second
Is he a
base.
lefty or a
Yeah.
righty?
Righty.
Righty. From second base.
Oh my God! You got
What if
that.
they
for-
drug test him, though?
We
kidding me?
sometimes didn't get 45 home runs for a decade.
Now,
from
what's
our
his
second
average?
base.
I mean, is that like
I don't
this
know,
crazy
he's not
year he
high.
had?
Yeah, he's like 250.
Is he like a?
260.
I mean, was he a 30 home run guy typically?
Yeah, I mean,
You get 30
He's
home
30
runs
plus
when you're
home runs.
second baseman.
If 30's low for him, I'll take him.
What is the most?
Add him to this lineup. Put him where in the lineup?
Where
anywhere,
Schwarber
right?
is.
Yeah.
Wherever you put Schwarber.
Second.
Oh, so you don't think they
Batting
can get
s-
both Schwarber and him?
No. I think they got one move.
I think you're
Counting
right.
I
Schwarber.
guarantee
You
they
think
got
Schwarber's
so
one of
many
the moves?
I think
Financial,
Schwarber's one of the moves.
responsibilities on their plate already.
They-
That to take care of business, they don't have room
They're
for.
going to have to
extras.
sign Devers and Bogarts.
They don't have room for seconds.
How much
Right.
is left in their
Erod.
contracts, Bogarts and Devers?
Bogarts is 1 year until he opts out. He can opt out after this year.
And now Devers is year to year on.
No, but they can do a Devers contract because they free a lot of money up in the next couple of years. I mean, they don't have many contracts, so they could do something
He's
where,
going to make a boat.
where all of a sudden he's
Yes, he
making
is. He's
he's
so
making
young.
Well,
year
he's a
3
great
he's
young
making
hitter, though.
45, 50 million.
Will he be
dollars.
40
So-
million a year, Devers?
Devers? No, 30.
Not in
million
this
dollars.
market. 5 years ago, he'd be 40, but not now.
No, I think Devers would be very happy with an 8-year, $240 million contract, which would make him 31 for his next contract, and already have $240 million back. I think you take that, right?
Yep.
And I'd pay it to him.
Well, I think they have to, right?
Yeah.
You cannot lose Mookie Betts and then lose.
He's the
Devers.
he's the cornerstone of this
Yeah.
franchise
And
right
he hits good pitching. He plays well in the
Yes.
playoffs.
Yeah.
Right?
Like he can hit anybody.
Yeah.
Anybody. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unlike Dahlbeck.
And he looks like he's keeping himself in better shape now, too.
Is Alex Cora the right manager for moving forward?
I think absolutely yes.
1,000%.
Do you think he is?
I agree.
You know,
100%
it's a heavily Latino team, and I think he's just the right fit
He knows
for
how to
it.
get the most out of those guys.
Yeah, he-
They
he-
trust
No
him.
one else could get anything out of you.
let me tell you what he strikes me as.
Zero.
He strikes me as that kind of guy. We've all had dealt with different leaders in our life, guys we admire. Like, I think he makes these players feel like he'd jump on a grenade for them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, he's not going to let them off the hook. That's what the great leaders do. They push you to make the most of yourself while sacrificing their own. That's the way they make you
Well
feel.
said,
You
Timmy.
know what I mean?
Very well said. Yep. Are you going to give him another shot? Are you gonna
He's a
let bygones
scumbag. No,
be bygones?
he's a scumbag. There's just something. Again, there's something I can feel that's going on with him. I don't know. I think once a scumbag, always a scumbag.
You know,
I just think that
we could have a little forgiveness in this one.
I don't. Seriously, what he did was so egregious. I still can't forgive him.
Now, could you say?
And I felt like he made a lot of.
Could you say this guy made a mistake, and he'll never do it again? He learned his lesson.
Over a course of many years, he made this mistake. Absolutely. And I thought he was a poor manager in the Astros series.
No, wait a minute. Didn't Big Papi test positive
The
for performance?
Oh,
enhancing
don't even go
supplement?
down there. The Big Papi is. Don't even go there.
We've all made mistakes in life. That's all I can say.
No, I know, I understand, but I felt like over a course of many years that he got to the position that he did because of his actions.
But do you think he's the best manager for this team?
Oh, he would. Even if without that, being the bench manager of the Astros, he would have been next man in line to be a manager somewhere.
Do you think he's the right manager?
I think
for this team?
I think he's the right manager off the field. Yes, I don't think he's that good of a strategy manager, and I think he was very hesitant to argue with the umpires or to do certain things because of his
He did not have a
standing.
great series against you. He managed well in the other series, but that
He
Houston
lost
series
his magic.
wasn't
About
his best
halfway through the
moment.
Houston series, he
his
lost the
mojo.
magic. Yeah.
I look.
He lost his aggressiveness too, and that's when he lost his magic.
I think they were going so well. He was like afraid to upset the apple cart. They were
And
just
he
roll. You
stopped
know,
being
you
aggressive.
remember those two games? It was magical around here, and he was afraid to interject in anything. I think hoping that wasn't going to get screwed up. What
So
was going
Scotty's
on.
back on board with Alex Cora.
Oh
I mean, really, we have a
that's
tape
not
of
true.
it. He said
Scotty,
yes.
if it just comes down to this, really, are the Red Sox better with him or without him?
Well, right now, because, I
be
mean-
a team guy here, Scotty.
No. I mean, make Jason Varitek the bench coach right now. In
Doesn't
line.
he have some kind of?
In line.
What does he have?
Doesn't he have some kind
Does he have
of
pictures
bat
of you,
thing?
Scotty?
Isn't he in charge of the bats? Or
I
something?
know he's in kind of a ridiculous mode. I need Jason Moore there.
He's
I
got.
I don't see him being as effective with these young Latino players.
No,
as
I know.
Cora is.
All right, I just hate Alex Cora, and I had to mention. All right, Celtics. Is there a more unlikable team in Boston than the Celtics?
All right now.
Jason Tatum. The problem with Jason Tatum is, what are you going to do with him? Because he's the star of the team. These guys, he could hold the Celtics hostage for the next.
This league grovels for Jason Tatum's of the world.
But he could hold them hostage for 10 years.
I'll just give you an example. When they're highlighting the Celtics, the national TV game, it's all Jason Tatum.
Right.
Yeah.
When a
He's
little
the
smabbling
James
of Brown,
of the Celtics.
So what do you do? Just wait till he matures, or if that ever happens?
I think they'll give the two guys this full year together to figure it out, and then they're going to have some hard. If they don't figure it out, they're going to have some hard decisions to make. And you would think that Brown would be the easier, the most likely guy to
scapegoat.
go, but they could get to the end of the year and realize we'd be better off building around Brown, and because you could get that much more for Tatum.
Is Brown that type of player that you can? Is he in the big three scheme of things? Can he be your number one guy?
I don't think number one, but I think he can be a viable
Very
number two or
strong
number
number
three.
two, yeah.
I think if you're going to trade someone, you probably try to get someone to take. It should have been done 2 years ago. I agree, you were right, but Mark is smart. But he'll have an expiring contract next year, won't he?
No, he resigned.
No, he signed the 4 years.
Yeah.
That
Here's one problem about Jaylen Brown is he's starting to be a little bit injury prone. Jaylen Brown's missing. The one
Always
thing
has
that you
been.
can say about Tatum is outside of COVID,
Yeah.
that guy he plays. He's the kind of guy who'll play 80 games a
No,
year.
great point. I
And
didn't think of
Jaylen
that,
Brown,
yeah.
and he's had leg injury, muscle injuries, joint injuries in his lower body, and this is a guy who really depends on explosiveness and everything. You start to wonder, is he one of those guys who's going to miss?
And
20
we
games a
can
year?
see Tatum's at a different level than Brown. I mean, when Tatum has it, when he's on, he's a spectacular player.
Well, he can score by himself. He doesn't need the other four guys.
Which is a good and a bad thing.
Yes.
I think,
I read this profile today about Kevin Garnett, and just imagine Jason Tatum with a little Kevin Garnett in him.
Oh my God!
Oh.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Well, that's why we thought
Could you
if
imagine?
you could convince Kevin Garnett to be the coach, that
Yeah,
Tatum
but it
and
doesn't
Brown
work that
would
way.
respect.
It might
You
just
know.
wear out on Tatum.
Yeah.
He just might go.
He
I don't
doesn't
think
have
it's
to,
different.
he's got a guaranteed contract to make 35, 36 million next year, no matter what you say
Yeah.
to him.
Look,
And he'll go,
Udoka
and anyone else, they'll line up to give him another one.
Udoka screwed up. He came into the training camp. He said, "Hey, I don't want my players bitching and moaning to the refs."
all they do.
Grant Williams does it. He immediately benches him. It's like, okay, let's see what you do with
Totally
Jason Tatum.
agree.
Jason Tatum does it, and he continues on like nothing.
Doesn't get back on defense because he's busy pitching to the refs.
Players run this league.
They
Yeah,
sure do.
And I believe that Jason Tatum wants to be a great player. I
He is.
don't think that Jason
I don't think he knows
Tatum. No, I think he does. I think he's becoming a great individual player. I don't know that Jason Tatum wants to win at all costs.
Yeah.
Now,
That's
does
what I
anyone
meant with
remember
Kevin
this? We
Garnett.
went through a little list with Paul Pierce at one
We
point.
did. That's a great
Yeah.
point.
Right? Yeah.
You know,
right,
like
great, yeah.
you know, we were ready to ship him out of town, and then
Yeah,
they
it
put
took a
they
while.
put the right people around him, and he matured,
He became a team
and
player.
he became a great
Yeah, that's a
player.
great point. But and we thought maybe Al Horford was that.
And by
person.
the way, Al Horford's been fantastic
He has.
this year.
Yeah.
He has,
I mean,
I know.
obvious physical limitations, but you couldn't.
He's been
ask
really
him.
good. He's
I
not
know.
as good as Brandon Bolden,
No, he's
the
not.
Patriots, but
You know, what would you invest in a psychiatrist for Jason Tatum to get
Well,
him
why
to
was
get him right?
psychiatrist? Everything's going
how
perfect
about
for him.
play your ass off and stop complaining to the refs?
How about pass the
Take
ball?
the team concept. He
Yeah.
doesn't have this team concept thing. Pass the ball. Like
The fourth quarter, it's a black hole when he gets
that's what
old.
this team is missing is a creative passing game. You just
And
don't
the
see
worst
it.
team in the NBA in the fourth quarter.
But
Jason,
But I think
put it
even if you
together.
had Chris Paul, Joe, even if you had Chris Paul there, I don't think and he passed it to Tatum. I don't think it'll still never go back
Yeah,
to anyone else.
yeah,
well,
no-
you
no one
can't.
gets
The
it back.
point guard can't. Remember, Kemba did the same thing. He'd bring it up, give it to Tatum, and that was the end of it. Now, if you have Pritchard playing point guard, he comes up. He's scared to death not
Scared.
to give it to Tatum,
Scared to death.
and then it disappears. You know?
So I mean, and Udoka is clearly not going to. He's not the influence that we thought
At least not
he
yet.
might be.
Not yet. I mean, look, he's learning how to coach. He's 10 games into his coaching career. Udoka
Right.
is. Right?
But he's been around the block. Hopefully, he's got some tricks up his sleeve that he's going to
Yeah.
start utilizing to get
Well,
this
what he
group
should have
going.
done is said, Jason, I'm going
I should
to
have
bench
benched
you.
him.
I'm
He
going
should
to
have
bench you.
benched
And I'm going to bench
couldn't
you.
agree with
Just
more.
use you as an
Yeah.
example, and then everybody's going to stay in line. You bitch and moan, but you take it.
That's right.
And then it would have been solved, right? And
Yep.
no more bitching and moaning, and then all of a sudden Udoka has the
And
lock.
Tatum would have been happy too because the coach went to him first. But you know who I do like on the team is the new guy Schroeder.
I like
He's
him.
the Marchands
Yeah.
of the Celtics.
Right.
I like him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's perfect bench role.
Yeah.
He's
He
effective.
He will be, unless the Celtics are in contention, he will be traded at the deadline.
Oh, my
I can
God.
guarantee-
Oh, yeah.
Guarantee
Really?
you that. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
He's
got,
on a one-year
Oh,
deal.
somebody
they don't
wants.
have bird
Somebody will
rights
want.
on him.
Somebody
They
will
could
want.
probably get a late first round or super early second or 2 seconds for him.
I think he's
mean,
playing
it's
himself
great
into a nice
signing.
contract.
Yeah, well, and you're going to get.
Well, he
to-
turned down what 84 million.
Yeah, 84.
Oh, is he the guy that lost all
Yeah.
the money?
Yeah,
That
84
screwed
million.
up. I wonder
know
we
if he's
got
He's
him.
turned
Huh?
down 84 million a couple times.
Yeah.
You'll get it.
He's the guy whose agent played it all wrong,
Oh,
right?
my- yeah,
And
well, he
missed the market.
Just
then-
sign his name.
Had
I
a
just I did it for you. I don't understand that at all. $84 million to play for the Lakers?
And now he's getting what, $6 million for
Six.
this?
Yeah, well, he'll get that contract if he keeps
He'll
playing
get
the way
He'll
he's
get it.
playing.
He'll get something close to it next time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he won't make that mistake again.
Take a good look at Dennis Schroeder because he won't be around after February 10th
Yeah.
or whatever the
Yeah.
trading.
Hey,
But I do like watching him. He's a little
fun.
instigator out there.
You might be able to get something for him. So some team that's going somewhere.
the guy I want, the Warriors, look, they're back on top. They've always liked Marcus Smart. Oh, my God, this is the time to get rid of Marcus.
What do they have though?
Well, they
I don't care.
all
I don't
last
care.
year they were talking Marcus to them for their draft pick.
You know, that might
Yeah,
have a big
right.
impact getting rid of a. You know, I love Marcus Smart. You know, you guys all know that, but it might change the whole dynamic of
Yep.
this team. Like, it might change a
There's
lot.
just bad mojo.
Something's
among
gotta
those
change.
3 guys. It just doesn't work right now.
Yeah, you're right.
And I see Smart's point though too. I do see his point. He's watching Tatum, like we're all watching, but it's frustrating for him. And I mean, he has his own foibles, believe me. Smart does. But it must be frustrating for him to know the heart that he has. Take his heart and put it in Jason Tatum.
But the problem
and
with
would have
Marcus Smart is it's the pot calling the kettle black. He's saying, "Oh, everyone else should be better team players. He should be a better team player. He's one of the worst offenders of that."
Well, I know Scotty loves Marcus Smart.
No,
so he's
look,
saying all this
I told you
conversation.
he needed to go. I told you this was, and
I don't think he needs to go, but he's got to, practice what he preaches.
look, he should never have done that to a new coach and shared that with the press. That was wrong. That was disrespectful to the new coach. Again, they haven't given this guy Udoka a chance. I think this guy looks like he's trying to keep it together. He's trying to build something here, and the players are not falling into line.
Yeah. So far, it hasn't been. I totally agree. They've not done him well at all.
Brad must be saying, "Told you so."
But the fact is, if I told you that Al Horford would have played this well, and we had no expectations for Al, if I told you Dennis Schroeder would be excellent, right?
Yeah.
You'd be like, okay, we've got a team here. We definitely wouldn't be 4 and 6.
I thought those two were going to be good additions, and they have been, but the rest of the team have not cooperated.
Both the Bruins and the Celtics, if the season ended right now, would not be
Yeah,
in
but the
playoffs.
Bruins are the quirk just of the schedule, right? They've played like 4 games less.
What's
than
their record now?
They got to start.
What's that?
What's the Bruins'
6
record?
and 4.
6
I
and 4,
thought
not 4 and 6.
No, and they've
Bruins
played
will be
like 3
fine.
games less than a bunch of other
But
teams.
they still do have the first line-itis still, though. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? No one's producing but that
I
first
thought
line.
that this new combination would be better this year. I had high hopes that
Pasta on the second line?
the team would be deeper. No,
Has Hall even scored a goal?
Oh, he's stunk.
Has he scored a goal the whole season?
Yeah, I think he's got something like 7 points in 10 games.
He's playing good. He's just not
been-
getting on the
he's not been
scoreboard.
great, but
I mean,
don't think
hockey's
he's
a
been-
weird
He's
sport,
not
you know?
their problem.
Yeah, but
He's
he's
not
not. He hasn't been playing up to snuff. That line has been
Who's played
Something.
poorly?
the second, third, and fourth lines.
Coyle?
And you
the
look at that line.
second and third defense.
So who's the second line? We got Coyle. We got Hall.
Hall, and it's been like
Pasta.
DeBrusque.
No, they haven't played. It's been Foligno and DeBrusque. They've been
Smith
supposed
hasn't
to be
done anything, and he's a goal scorer.
They've
Moving
had
around.
Smith on the third line for the most part.
Yeah.
And Tuukka Rask, your buddy.
He
Timmy,
still practices.
I heard
with
he's
them.
at the golf course every freaking day.
He practices with the Bruins every day.
Yeah, I heard he's. I
You're
know a
allowed
guy.
to do that?
I know a guy that works at the golf course. He said he's there every day.
Which golf course?
At what is it? The one in Newton,
it
across from
Newton
Newton
Wellesley?
Wellesley Hospital there.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Newton Wellesley right there.
What is that
Woodland.
one? Woodland, yeah.
Well, his
And he's got
family's
some
home in
special.
Sweden.
He's got some special vodka drink. I guess that he created. That's taking over. Everyone that's drinking this drink. I
I
hear.
thought he was pushing his tall beers there.
Whatever he's drinking.
Tuca.
So he's clearly coming back.
Well, by the way, the way these two have played, I'd welcome Tuca back with open arms.
I know. Watch out what you wish for, Tim
But,
Hoey.
remember,
Yeah, I know.
it's a hip. And athletes don't come back from those
No,
hips
they
too
can't
often.
ever.
Goalie, that's an important limb.
Cassidy, I love Cassidy. See, he's the ultimate opposite of Cora. Legit guy, takes responsibility, is not cheating. Nobody's banging on
So
anything.
far as you know,
He called out Hall today.
Yeah, he's not afraid
did?
to call it
What did
anybody.
he say?
Steve benched him last
Yeah.
night. Benched him in the second half of the third period last night.
Oh, really?
Yeah, didn't play him.
Yeah, there's a threat of going out of Providence for everybody. It seems like. I mean,
But
you know.
can't send most.
I-
if you're on a one-way deal, you can't.
But he'll sit Marchand. He'll sit anybody.
Yeah.
But Charlie Coyle has been a huge disappointment. For
You know what's
a
weird
guy
about
that
Charlie?
physical.
Charlie's
and
he's a talented guy. You know, in hockey, there are just guys who can put the puck in the net. He had a beautiful goal. It was the first game, I think. One of those games.
Yeah.
He sniped it. Remember that beautiful shot?
Top shelf there. Yeah.
Some guys just have that, the shots coming in, they get the tip of their blade on it, they tip it, and it goes in. Some guys just do that all the time. Pasternak has that touch,
But Coyle does not have that.
Coyle doesn't. His hands are stone. I don't know what it is. They can skate skate big, pass, everything. They just can't put it over that red
He
line.
reminds me, actually, God rest his soul, Jimmy Hayes when he came
Yeah.
to
The world
to
is filled with a
huge-
million of those hockey players.
Yeah, just big physical.
They can
tough
skate,
guys.
can do everything.
Remember how well Coyle played when he first came up here during that playoff, the Stanley Cup
Oh my
run
God, yeah.
to,
Yeah,
to the St.
yeah.
Louis.
I mean-
he played an enormous
Like you look
role
at
in
Brett
that.
Hull, not the greatest skater, not the greatest pass, but he just had that knack for picking the spots. I don't know what some people have it, and you're a bar of gold in the NHL if you're one of those guys.
Pasternak hasn't been scoring.
But
this
he's still
year.
got. But he's one of those guys. I mean, he hits the one timer and it hits off the crossbar and goes in.
I don't know how he can do that one timer and put it where he wants it to go.
I don't know how they do it. Ovechkin, those guys. I don't know how they do it.
They put it like in a spot.
I know.
Should Sweeney be criticized for the young players and not developing over the last few years? Because it just doesn't.
Yeah, we had a boatload of reasonably high draft picks, and they really haven't panned out.
In the defense corps.
You look at guys that have been picked, that we could have had. There's some really good players out there.
Yeah. And like guys like Studnicka, they just got to produce. I mean, you've
The
got to have,
Vakaninen, a million.
You need these young guys to produce, and if they're not producing, this will be the last year of the run.
Well, yeah, you would think
unless some
so,
of these
right?
young guys.
Yeah, I mean, how much more time does Bergeron
And you wonder how important Tuukka really was in the whole thing.
Well, they say he skates with them every day.
When he's not golfing.
Yeah,
And drinking
I
vodka.
guess he can do that, and he's just unsigned. He doesn't want to play for anyone else, so if they
He wants to
call,
be here.
Yeah, don't we all?
he'll be Roger Clemens coming in halfway.
But they're just a middle of the road team. I mean, this is not a team.
I wouldn't say that, Scotty. They'll be in the hunt in the
Top
end.
third.
You think?
Top
Yeah.
third, but not in the top of the top third.
Yeah, but and by the way, you top third and you get in the playoffs and you're healthy and you get a goalie goes on a run, you could be in the
I
Stanley
mean,
Cup
that
finals.
line, Bergeron, Marchand, Pasta, that's
that's
still
line
the
That's
best
entry
line.
into any playoff series.
And then you look, you got Hall, you got Coyle, you got Smith, you got some good guys. DeBrusque, I don't know what he's going to be.
Foligno?
But
He's been better. DeBrusque's been better.
I mean, the D, you don't have any superstars on D. You
Well,
do have Charlie McAvoy. I mean, he is good,
That was nice they signed him to a big deal.
But I mean, you need 4 horses back there. Four. I mean,
At least 2 solid
Grizzlick's
players.
middle of the pack. You know what I mean? He's a good skater, but
Grizzlick's little. He's tiny.
yeah.
He's I always
Carlo.
like Grizzlick.
Yeah, great offensive play, but not so much on the defensive.
Yeah, you need 4 like McAvoy, like
Bigger guys.
quality
They
guys.
need more size, is what they need
Yeah.
on their defense. They've got a pretty small. After McAvoy, it's pretty small.
I remember a few years ago we had all those tough defensemen back
Oh,
there. The
big
big Swede.
horses,
We had the
yeah.
big Swede back there. We had some good D back there for a while. And then who do we give up? Somebody went to Long Island.
Boynton.
Loved him.
Yeah, I liked him. But then he got
Loved
injured a lot.
Out of the
Yeah,
Hey,
McQuaid.
he's out of the league.
both
Yeah.
of them are.
Yeah.
Hey guys, before we go, just so you realize the U.S. Open is coming to Brookline.
Yes,
Yeah, it's
I'm
gonna
trying to
be
get a
fun.
job as a marshal.
Oh, you are?
Yeah,
Oh my
I
God.
don't know if they'll have me.
If you need a character rep,
I hope they don't.
Guy.
On my, I'm gonna put it in. I'm gonna put it out on a tweet. Tim Hoey's been picked to be a marshal.
Oh, because you play over there, right?
I have visited
As
the
a
place.
guest.
Well, let's not broadcast that.
That was funny.
Oh, we are in Brookline.
Yeah, in the broadcast.
Yeah, they might be. The members might be demanding a weekend.
Remember that in the
They'll have,
broadcast at
they'll have my
Fenway,
picture at the
Joe
gate.
Buck said to Schmaltz, "You're gonna go play in Brookline tomorrow."
Did he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can't wait. And hopefully, of course, they got to give the Brookline's top sports
Well,
show.
when was this? When Schmaltz was?
When they were on,
They were during the ALCS.
Oh,
yeah, he said they're going to be in Brookline tomorrow.
Did they let him on?
I don't
Oh,
know.
yeah.
I
Oh,
did.
that's
Run, I
gonna
ran
get
into
on
Tom
anywhere.
and Giselle over there one time.
They can get on anywhere. Those.
I don't know who I was more attracted to.
He's no Jimmy
Tommy,
G.
Tommy.
No
Tall
Jimmy
and
G.
thin. That's all I can say. Tall and thin.
All right, well, that's our show for tonight. I want to thank, of course, behind the scenes, handsome Todd. He's just, what would we do without him?
He was a
Seriously,
9.5. He's
Yep.
a 10 now. I think it gets better every
I
day.
want to thank the fellas. Please check us out on our website at thegrandstanders.com and tune in again next Wednesday night at 6:30 for another edition of Grandstanders Live. I'm your host, Scott Kerman. Have a great and happy night.